Hi, so Bad Guys, Spy Guys, part 4. So, by doing that, it totally ruined the whole point in the matter of why people do these things. It was for charity, it was to help. We got a great applause. Everybody else thought it was great. So, really manipulate negative outcomes for another purpose. Take us down a notch. It's really interesting to us that that piece was actually, there was a picture of what we call that T-split. And the thing is, why in the world, I had a mentor, say, hey, that was really great, and on social media, and then somebody else sees that, puts a little stirring in the heart. I want that. You see what I'm saying? How that can go? We have it all documented step by step by step. We're trying to be cool about it, you know? But the problem is you are all calling attention to yourselves by keep harping on that thing of our property that we're doing certain things with it and we have a right to. And we're trying to be cool here. Just stop and leave well enough alone and you'll be fine. But don't keep trying to make a negative outcome in a place, in our opinion, that's trying to purposely harm us for another agenda, like wanting me out of the way. There is way too many people at this point trying to do that. We have way too much evidence of that. I'm not going anywhere. Too bad. You're just gonna have to put your big person panties or underwear on and just deal with it. We're not trying to get people out of the way. We keep saying, hey, do you want to dance for us? Do you want to be in our films? Do you want to, and providing opportunities. Getting us out of the way is not going to solve this problem. Because where we are, there are more behind us that will say, excuse me? It's very foolish. So, manipulating negative outcomes is mirroring, again, the smoke screen trying to hide up the truth. And here we are, and here, not just us, but other good people who are trying to graciously lead with the truth and say, no, this is really what it is. Why are you doing this? They like to, belittle and pick on. It's the bullying, the narcissists. It's all of that. It's the they. And they like to engraft minions along the way, too. Very, very horrible. Okay, go.
Next one, which I think this is the last one. Bad guys tend to make false accusations and do so without any facts, whereas the good guys, they desire truth and they're willing to right things if those things are wrong.
Do you have an example?
Maybe. Bad guys, they lie about people and usually doesn't have any fact. And if it does, it's usually based on a truth that is actually not even comparable to what they're talking about. They use a baseline and they extrapolate lies out of it.
Oh, yes.
And then the good guys, they just stay on point and they just try to correct if there's anything wrong.
Yeah. So here's one that's really a good one. We were falsely accused of, let's just say, Article 29. I don't know. I could actually get out the correspondence and tell you, but I'm not going to do that in this video. We were falsely accused of doing something, Article 29. And so we looked up what Article 29 was, and it gave a full description of Article 29, and we had not done anything of the like. So what was Article 29? This is not the right number. Like I said, I'm just random number out of the clear blue. My family and a board member was accused of basically breaking in, damaging equipment, and hacking computers or something like that. That's what Article 29 was. And I'm like, are they insinuating, because it was worded funny, where they could say, oh no, I wasn't accusing you of that. They're very tricky like this. They throw something in the wall and see if it'll stick. And don't worry, we cleared our names of this and we combated it, and we have a right to file a lawsuit against this human being for doing that. Because that was way over the top. It's like, there is no police report. We didn't do any of this. We don't know how to do this. We not only didn't do it, but we don't even know where this stuff would be on your premises. And there was just a whole bunch, and we combated it with logic and, proof and evidence. And it's like, do you have evidence of this claim against us? Where is it? And they didn't, right? False accusation, no facts. And so here we are with the truth. They were using Article 29 as a guise to keep us from actually communicating with this person. And it's like, there's a freedom to associate. They can't do that at all. It's against our constitutional rights, civil rights, everything like that. They were getting mad because we were, I didn't do any of it. It was a board member saying, you know what, we're going to make sure that you know the truth, because we were trying to protect this person, because we were starting to piece it together that person B was doing this cover up and the lying and all of that, and they didn't like that. Of course not, because that's how you compare notes. We were being fair, like how it was unfair to me that a false complaint was filed against me and I didn't even know about it. I didn't get a chance to what do you call it? I didn't get a chance to redeem myself, to speak up on it. It was it's actually illegal to do something like that. They have to be notified, and so I wasn't even notified that there was a problem. Nothing. And it was so surprising because they knew they were wrong. They're like, oh God, what do we do? This person's doing this person that. So they kept lying. They said, no, we told her she's going to behave now. But I wasn't even misbehaving to begin with. But because person B was making person A think like that, this person, it's their fault. And they kept me in the dark completely. But then when I found out, they're like, oh crap, we have to tell her something now. And then so that's when they really started playing us against each other. And I was like, wait a minute. I haven't done any of these things, and they're continuously just falsely accusing, and without my right to defend myself. That's what I'm doing. It didn't go well for them. Let's put it that way. Because I was like, wow, do I look stupid or something?
No, they just do this whenever they think that they have to.
It's really terrible. But, now that we're on to all of these things, we have gotten so savvy to it, and we can actually preempt a lot of things now, because we see them starting to rev up. It's like they'll step just a pinky toe out the door, and we're like, nope, that's enough. We know you for your kind. And we stop it. They're not smart. We just got smarter. I mean, gosh, who ever thought that you would have to do this? So guys, Dale Carnegie, great, but you have to be amongst other fellow Dale Carnegieans, let's put it that way, for that to work. Otherwise, you're dealing with this kind of stuff, and I want you to be savvy to it too. Again, we have a lot more in our books and our manuals and our videos that go way into this with legal ideas that you can do that we had to do. We also give examples of it actually happening to us, and we could legally do it because of the terms in which we can. We don't want to falsely accuse anybody, of course not. But you also have the bad guys. They don't care if they falsely accuse. They never say, we don't want to falsely accuse or anything, because they never give you the option. They never try to work it out. Because they're drowning. Look, we come forward with the truth. That truth is making them drown. Like I said, good or bad, you're going to try to flail even if you have to save your life. Right or wrong. I think when bad guys try to save their lives, because we live in a free country, they have a right to do so. But the truth, which we have factually, will prove that we were right. You know? And still. So this is why the gatekeeper, pay me enough and I'll let you through, is put into all these different 7 portions of society, because the bad guys know damn well that they can't legally pull it off unless they have someone paid off in those positions of decision. Okay? Right?
Yeah.
How many times have at least I have, and my husband, we just come right out and say, look, this is what's happening, and we just go right to the chase saying, someone's being paid off to let this slip through. That's how all this crap happens. Look at the prior person who was leading our country. This is not my only my opinion, other people's opinion. Very much this. I feel like I was played a fool for, because, trusting and thinking and hoping and all of this. And then now we have President Trump coming along, cleaning up a lot of that mess. I'm not saying everything that they did was bad or anything like that. And personally, I think his wife is beautiful. Both. I think I have never seen an ugly first lady, personally. Mm-hmm. Because I just think there's something just so elegant and beautiful about all of them. They have something to bring to the table. Plus, I'm a woman. Of course, I'm going to defend another woman. But, what do I know? I'm just saying. I just think that sometimes people were being too harsh on the first ladies everywhere, every one of them. I think they're really beautiful. But anyway, and then that's not to say that the prior administration did everything wrong either. But I'm just saying, based on facts, that looked like that was their role, to let all these people in. We know that based on reports. I've done my homework. We have people on our team that have done their homework and stuff like that. And, no offense. God bless them. I mean well for everybody. But, in my opinion, I think it was what happened. It looks that way. It's not only my opinion. Of course, you have the current president that thinks that as well and is cleaning house, drain the swamp. Well, unfortunately, we've had to drain the swamp in our own lives, too. And it's reflective in what we discovered herein. So anyway, that's 4 parts. Pretty good. We have another thing, too, that we want to tell you about. This is something, oh, God bless it. I'm really trying not to swear, people. And I'm not sure why I feel that within me. I'm just really trying not to. But it's part of my upbringing. And being from back east and the area that I was from, it really means nothing. But like I said, better me swearing than getting addicted to something, which is not going to happen. I'm just not like that. But this is something about intellectual property theft. And this is from the FBI. We've been getting help on many levels, because this is very, very serious. And it's not just infiltrating just the intellectual property area of my personal life, my company's life, or board members. It's pretty heady, as you can see. And we just want to be able to we want to stop this. We want vindication. We need restitution in all ways. We need to be left alone. We need to be properly respected. We need a lot of things to happen. We're sharing this, like I said, so you don't have to go through this, and hopefully that my beloved, when I say beloved, it doesn't mean anything more than just a really nice thing to say about somebody. Don't get a wrong idea here. I don't feel like that about anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not weird. Some people just can't handle Christianity and just love and respect for another human being based on agape love. But I as a person need to put this to a stop too. And I really want people to understand this. And a lot of the things I have talked about, you know how I talk about the lists from the FBI, and I went like this, and check mark, check mark, check mark. Well, this was a starter list for us. We were directed here this is from the website. We have the web address and everything like that. It's very impressive. Do you want to start?
Yeah. Do you want me to just go down the list of the tactics real quick, or?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
So, the FBI considered these items to be common tactics: computer hacking, which also includes a visitor connecting via electronic devices in the system. That could be via a thumb drive, and it could add malware or downloads to information. It could also include someone hacking into your network via a spear phishing attack. That's a term you could look up. And another way is an unattended laptop is accessed or stolen.
Can I stop
Sure.
you right there?
Sure.
So we've had all of this happen to us, but let's also define the term hacker. Did you know the very corporations, not all, I don't want to disparage anybody here, and that is not the intent, but some, we have had an experience where it was an insider within a corporation that was hacking within their own system. Hacking, very, right?
Mm-hmm.
Loosely used. And also wanting to, it was a hacker, third party hacker. It has nothing to do with our hosting site or something. So it's just not a hacker from whoever, wherever from the moon, okay? It is actually people, insiders from within that corporation, whether that corporation realizes it or not. We have had to reach out to, no joke, breaks my heart, a Christian entity. They were sending us things with it was a cartoon drawing on a little pamphlet around Christmas time, with a cartoon drawing with a little girl standing in 5th position with a red dress on, mooning, except the dress was barely covering, excuse me, let me show you, but standing in 5th position in a much shorter hemline than mine, grabbing their derriere and lifting it up even higher, okay? That was on the cover of this pamphlet from a Christian entity. The envelope, right?
Yes.
And what was inside that envelope was references to our family stories that we discussed in private. One was a fake one because we were starting to do bookmarks at that time just to say, wait, why does this keep showing up? Because you want to see and track it down and find the access. So we had different ideas about that. Either they were insiders in this corporation or they were not any longer a Christian entity, which it could be all of it or none of it. But no, it wasn't none of it. We found out that our data, our information was deleted. They had an old address. It was very cockamamie. I would call in and get prayer. That's very personal. And they logged it in, and it was a story depicting how my red ribbons, my beloveds, all my beloveds that I pray for, and how it all connected. So we started seeing anything that was connected to my red ribbons story and praying on behalf of those who didn't have the Lord, that they would have peace, blessed, and we got, we had not counseling, but counsel. There's a difference, right? So we received counsel from them upon many occasions, and we've had a relationship with this entity for, even before I knew the Lord, because my husband and his family had a relation, and also friends. So, it was a long history, and we're like, wait, something is wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a form of access and hacking, because we're like, wait a minute. They printed up this, and it came to us. Something is very wrong. And then we kept trying to get communication to them, saying either you have an insider or somebody's doing something very bad, because this is not how a Christian is supposed to behave, and we've been with your entity for a very long time. What's going on? So we were thinking that they were being infiltrated, that maybe even the CEOs of the company had turned sour. There was a whole bunch of ideas being thrown around there. And we were saying, look, we don't want to cause harm, because especially when you're working with a Christian entity, you want to extend the hand and say, hey, look, is this what it seems to be? What's going on? And we have everything well documented, our heart's intent. And I can't say anything more at the moment, but that shows an insider hacking even our personal information, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then a key term that kept showing up within the they and that network kept saying the word delete. Well, we can delete your information using it like that. And we even saw articles talking about this on a certain network, let's say, online, and it would be the timing of when the catchphrase of the week would be delete. You know how that whole thing of being unprecedented because President Trump, I guess, or whoever is doing his Twitter account spelled it wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they would tease him and make fun of him by using it in the media more than normal to kind of just bust his chops. So that they did that to us. And it just kept showing up. And then our information was being deleted for real. Website information, like entire websites are being hacked. And I'm like, okay, come on now. All of this, give me a break. So, we kept putting out SOSs. That was another thing. I was sending an SOS via my assistant, via our company's cell device, to my dad, SOS, to my girlfriend, saying, I'm from back east. Girlfriend is what you call your best friend. Same sex, okay? It is, and I'm not knocking anybody who has this real same-sex relationship in that way. Meaning, you're gay or something. I don't care. Fine. God bless you. But I'm talking about girlfriend. I'm already married and taken that way. I mean, sister girlfriend. Do you understand? God, you have to explain everything to everybody nowadays because they just want to just think the worst. Not that that would even be worse. You know what I mean? Because fine, if somebody wants to love the same sex, that's between you and your other. Anyway, I don't want to get off the point, but that is a form of hacking too. It's coming directly from within. Could be an insider, could be a spy from another corporation, or maybe they are all Trojan horsed out and they're all infiltrated. Mm-hmm. And now they're evil. It can be a myriad of of those things. Be aware. This is really happening. We have evidence of it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, next thing. On the common tactics list, on-site visits to your company, and someone tries to get unauthorized photography or computer access, unauthorized entry into areas, or asking questions outside of the scope of the visit, which that's basically like if a person is scheduled and not scheduled to come into your office, they come in and they do these things. Next on the list, we have review of publicly available sources. In other words, a person could try to see how much information you have in the public, and it could be too much information that someone has out there, and then they can figure out things from that.
Yeah, let me say something about that. I'm sorry. So I made videos and I gave out information. I did not give out like address or anything like that. And so I was advised, since we were suspecting anyway that these people knew and they were stealing my stories from my true life. That is why I basically wrote the books in the timing I did. I always wanted to, but they're like, look, it's out there already. They're already taking and extrapolating things from your real life stories because they were already eavesdropping via electronic equipment, neighbors, people passing by, all these kinds of things. People within my own circle were doing that and passing. And guys, if you're in my circle, believe me, I know the difference between you being a good person and then the evil ones. Believe me. We know. And, they were trying to continuously fish for information. And so since it was already being used to protect ourselves and myself, we're like, well, just really put it out there. You either keep it complete secret or you really broadcast it to stake your claim. So since we weren't able to keep these people from eavesdropping and finding out this information, or if we had an investigation that we authorized to look into a thing, they would use our signature, illegally so and wrongfully so, and we're going to get to that too, and have certain things done. They would misapply it to say, oh, okay, let's invade their privacy completely because look, they signed away their rights here. We can throw that to the wall and see if it sticks, and by the time they defend themselves, we'll already have done these investigative processes. So be careful. Look, when you sign a waiver, it's only supposed to be for the matter. We were honest and integral enough to not misapply things. And if we wanted to use somebody's video that they sent into the festival or something like that for something else, we would always ask them. But now we've gotten smarter because we also want to protect our beloveds too. We want to make sure, and somebody dropped a hint. Thank you for doing that. These kind of hint drops, I don't mind if it helps, but they dropped the hint by writing in pen on their contract, only for this event, right? Mm-hmm. And of course that's what it was for, but it just double protects them. And also to find out that people really can't misapply a thing for something else, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, right, because it's assumed. The law provides for that. It's assumed that it was only meant for this. Otherwise, you would have a document this thick with that many pages, breaking it down. But, thank you, because we've even updated our release forms to say it's only pertaining to that. Because of what happened to me, people misapplied it, and all of a sudden I'm seeing portions of my photographs being used to do What If They Made It, that Conan thing, for thumbnails in news magazines. I'm like, oh my god, that's not what you're supposed to use it for.
Yeah.
So, be very, very careful with all of that. About sharing too much information about, I know that kind of got off on the misapplication of signed documents, but just be very, very, very careful of that because it's been done to us.
Okay. Next, obtaining your equipment, which could be old things like copiers, printers, and fax machines, because they could have old information still on it. There's employment solicitation, where they try to hire your employees out from you.
Oh wait, can we back up?
Sure.
This actually happened to us, obtains your surplus equipment, but it happened in the way of us taking it someplace to get it repaired. We thought it was getting repaired, remember that? Mm-hmm. And actually we found spyware, malware on it after that. And that's very, very upsetting because we were trusting. And like all good people, you trust. It's illegal for people to do that. So you think, oh, if it's illegal, they're not going to do it. But it's been done anyway. So we're very concerned about that. And we want to impress upon you, you really have to trust your source. But we're becoming independent. Like I said, we are learning everything we can for our own selves about medications. He has the background now, and I also had some knowledge, but he really is the expert on that. He has his certifications and everything. Computers, we don't know that much, but we have people that do, that we trust. And we're just becoming very self-aware and independent from everything, so we don't have to take it to a third party. And that's unfortunate because there are good people, but for some reason we keep getting stuck in they's marketing funnel or their circle, and we're trying to get out of it. Like our lives do depend on it. In good hands, we would be able to say, oh, okay, our files would be trusted. We go to this one place, right? Mm-hmm. Really freaky, and they kept mentioning, especially the file transfer. We offer that as a service. And I'm like, right. I don't think so. We now know how to back up our files, and we now know how to do it. Now know how to do it ourselves. So just stop. that hint drop. We are not coming to you, but you see the power of suggestion, like to person A, so and so is not liking you, and you got to do all these horrible things to her, right? The power of suggestion, continuously hint dropping it. So be careful with that surplus of your equipment. Learn how to just don't get rid of it for right now, people. There is a way to totally